So hello again, guys. This is like the part two of our on last video regarding the weekly standard deviation. So I have changed the settings of the standard deviation from the first video. Why? Because I want to make it much more simpler without relying on specific tools that like this settings, this standard deviation levels that we don't need. So our own new settings is this. I hope you post the video and screenshot it. We will have 1, 2, 3, 6, then negative 1, 2, 3, 6, and negative 4.5 and a positive 4.5. So why did I change it? Because I want to make it much more simpler. Okay. On TradingView, you can rename your own. You can rename it and put a text like on this, like this one. The positive 6 will be your own positive weekly standard deviation of 3, and this 3 standard deviation will be your own weekly 2 standard deviation weekly and positive, and this one will be your own positive 1 standard deviation weekly. It's the same as this negative ones. So the 4.5 and a 2 and the negative 2 and the negative 4.5 represents the equilibrium. So I'm going to remove the values because I don't need it like that. So this is only the text that I need. Okay. So you can plot it without having too much lines on your chart. So your chart is going to be like this. Wait, okay, it's loading. So your charts is going to be much more simpler, right? It's going to be much more simpler without being too much complicated. I'm working on this standard deviation to be much more simpler. So we have the new versus the old standard deviation. Before, I used to plot every single day of the market a certain standard deviation. It might work years ago, but for now, I think the algorithm has reset because back then, when the market when the market took a certain negative standard deviation, the next day it will take another positive standard deviation, right? So when the market take that maximum standard deviation, the next day again it will take a negative standard deviation. It's like positive to negative, negative to positive. But there's a motto saying that times can change, times are changing. So I need to adapt to the current market because I'm no longer profitable if I rely on this model. That's why I have built this weekly standard deviation. I need to adapt to the current market. So if you have a strategy right now that you feel that okay, I think this concept of mine is already has already like 30% or 40% win rate. It's not that consistent anymore. I'm not saying it's you, but some of the concepts that worked before in the past might not work anymore today. All right. So that's one of my reasons why I change how I approach the market using the standard deviation. So I just want to make it very clear on which standard deviation range are you going to use. If the first trading day of the market here and the second trading day of the market here is much bigger than the first trading day of the market, of course, I'm going to use the second trading day of the market. But if on the first trading day of the market is much bigger than on this second trading day of the market, of course, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this. Okay. So how do you plan it out? I think you already know our own timings regarding standard deviation. It is 16 o'clock. If you are if you are a forex trader, and if you are commodities or metals or indices, it's 18 o'clock until midnight opening. Indices or commodities, So during this period, I'm using New York time, all right? During this period, I plot the standard deviation by week. So for example, this is 18 o'clock to midnight opening. The highest week of that time and the lowest week of that time, I'm going to plot the positive one weekly and the negative one weekly on that time range. So week to week, just like this, week to week on this time period. So let's move on. So the purpose again of the weekly standard deviation is finding the weekly highs or the weekly low. Okay, I didn't cover this on the first video. I'm sorry, it's really my bad. So finding the weekly high and weekly low is kind of hard to master, especially, but it is very simple to hear. All right, you should not trade if the market is on or inside the equilibrium range. If it is within the positive one and the negative one, because it is inside this equilibrium. And I call this positive one to negative R1 the equilibrium range. All right. I want the market to create a certain range. Wait. I want the market to create a certain range first. Here, let's say the market is ranging, right? And create an either weekly high or weekly low. The weekly high and weekly low should be inside the R1 and R2, or the negative 1 and the negative 2. Or if it is creating a weekly high, it should be at the positive 1 or the positive 2. If in any case the market breaks this positive 2 or negative 2, there is a high chance that it will continue the trend and seek out the maximum standard deviation. All right. So your weekly high and weekly low should be inside the standard deviation of 1 and 2. So how do we know that it is already the weekly high and weekly low? I'm sorry. What is the confirmation behind that? Let's say you are bullish. I'm so bullish in gold, for example. So if the market creates a weekly low, let's say it drops here. So even though it breaks this negative 2, wait, even if it breaks that negative 2, it has come back higher, right? If it has come back higher and breaks this equilibrium here, this line, that is my own confirmation that it will go long, unless the market has rejected that equilibrium range and create another low again to go higher. If the market range, for example, if it creates a certain range again on this equilibrium, that is my own confirmation. Okay, I am 100% sure that this is now the weekly low and we are now bound to expand higher. So there are a few things that you should consider. I think you have already watched this on the previous video, that, for example, the market creates a low, right? The market creates low on this R2 or the equilibrium. Wait, I'm going to delete this one. So let's say if you are bullish, the market has created low between this negative 1 and negative 2 of the weekly standard deviation. It has created higher. If the market breaks the equilibrium without even ranging, let's say it's a large imbalance. Wait, I'm gonna put a color on it. It's a very large imbalance, right? So we have a low right here. The market creates a low. Okay, this is the low. And it has created a high. Breaking this equilibrium, the market the market will always seek out another negative standard deviation. So it has a high probability to go back to this range and then it will now expand higher. Unless the market ranges inside this equilibrium, there is no way the market will go back to the previous negative standard deviation to expand. All right. So let's say you are bearish. It's the same if you are bearish. Okay, let's go. So let's say if you are bearish, the market creates a high, I'm sorry. And what you should do next is, will the market breaks this EQ, or will it continue to push forward above this positive standard deviation? Because if it continues to move forward above this positive to standard deviation, it is already an invalid weekly high. There is a high chance that the market will take the maximum standard deviation. So let's say you have a valid weekly high, right? And the market drops lower, breaking this equilibrium. If the market again did not range inside this equilibrium, there is a high chance that the market again will seek out a positive standard deviation and proceed to go lower. All right? So let's take a look again. So let's say the market created a weekly high and drops lower here inside the equilibrium, and it consolidated, or it is ranging. There's a high chance that the market will never come back to this positive standard deviation again, because it will be redistributed to go much lower. Let's see. Let's go. So that's how simple using the weekly standard deviation. Before, my own plot has so much rules and it's becoming really complicated. But right now, the weekly standard deviation that which I revision is much more simpler. All right. So wait. So again, we have our own retracement setups or the equilibrium entry. For on this example, if the market breaks this equilibrium range and it has created low inside the negative R1 and negative R2, and the market ranges inside the equilibrium, it does not matter if you miss out these two entries. The market will always give you a certain equilibrium entry. Okay, it's up to you to find it. Either the market will give you an equilibrium entry on this one between the R2 and R1, or the market will give you an equilibrium between this R3 and R2. So if you are using equilibrium entry, don't enter within this standard deviation. Okay? Why? Because I will just draw it for you. For example, let's say that you are correct. You have hunted, or you have sniped out the weekly low, right? If you have sniped out the weekly low and the market has gone higher, and let's say this is invalid because the market is simply trending. It did not range inside this equilibrium range. Equilibrium, sorry. And then it drops down, seeking out another negative standard deviation. When it dropped down to a certain negative standard deviation, it has gone higher. And then it ranges, right? So when the market is distributed, it keeps on pushing. And you saw the market ranging inside this positive standard deviation. I advise of not taking trades within the positive standard deviation, because there are times that it can be volatile inside those standard deviation ranges. It can create so much wicks, right? Like that one, before pushing the price higher. Avoid using the standard deviation for retracement entries. Use the zero or the equilibrium of the weekly standard deviation. So it's the same if you are bearish. let's say the market creates a weekly high and then it ranges. This is the equilibrium. It does not matter if you miss out the weekly high. It will always give you a certain equilibrium right here, and then it will drop down lower because it will now break this negative R2 to the maximum standard deviation. So I just want to make it very simple for you guys. So, okay. Oh, shit. So what are you going to do next if there is a failed weekly deviation? Let's say you are right. The market creates a low below this equilibrium, and then then it expands higher, breaking out this weekly standard deviation. That is already good as failed. So after the day has passed, it is now considered as invalid, and I will create another, and I will plot out another weekly standard deviation because that will be the new one. So let's take a look at what happened on gold. All right. Okay. That's this. So what happened on gold, right? I think you already know this stuff. So as you can see here on gold, the market is ranging inside the equilibrium range and it creates a low. Check. That is our own first confluence. So how do we know that that is valid, right? After it enters the equilibrium, it has consolidated. Because when it consolidated, that means that we can use that equilibrium. It just depends on your own stop loss or risk management. That will be a good confluence that the market will now go long, right? Avoid taking a positive standard deviation entry because there are times that it can be very brutal. It will stop you out before proceeding to expand. So how many entries do we have here? After we got this low, we have equilibrium entry right here and another equilibrium entry right here. And if you had entered on this equilibrium, you could have you could have, you know, make your own position safe or trade safe because you don't want this kind of volatility inside this positive standard deviation. And then after CPI, it has gone higher. So we have like 1, 2, and 3 entries. So there are most cases that even though if the market breaks this R2, but R2, negative R2 or positive R1, even though if the market breaks this R2, if the market has gone back to that range, it is still considered as low of the day or low of the week. All right, as you can see, it has gone higher. So when the market has gone higher to this point, when it breaks this equilibrium, it did not consolidate like what we are seeing on this range, right? So there's a high probability that the market will seek out again another negative standard deviation to go higher. So let me remind you guys, if you are looking for the weekly low or weekly high, all right, the market should be within the range of 1 or 2 standard deviation. What I mean by that is, wait. Okay, wait. What I mean by that is, for example, this is your own equilibrium range. You're looking at it. An invalid weekly high or weekly low, if it is just like a wick and then goes back here, and it creates a bottom wick and goes back to that range. What I mean by a certain weekly high or weekly low, there should be a candle above or below this equilibrium range. Okay, so let's go. So as you can see right here, after on CPI, it takes out this the maximum standard deviation. The next day, I am not using it anymore because that will be a new weekly deviation. But on the first trading day or the second trading day of the next market open, I'm going to use another weekly division. Okay. So I think that's it. I just simplified it for you. Thank you for watching.